Okay guys, here we are getting set up for the next match in this year's virtual or VP4 virtual US Open, and in about 5 minutes time we've got a one-loss side match between Albinario and Larry. Albinario from Sweden, Larry from the United States, and it's a race to 11 on the one-loss side. So this will be one of these two guys' last chance to stay in the tournament. Let's have a look at the bracket and see where we stand. We had a result last night, or the other night, that I missed. The match was started, in fact the match was just finishing when I got online, and if we go to the top of the bracket on the one-loss side, we can see the result there. Tony Sam has beaten Magician by 11 racks to 3, and Tony's through to round 8 on the one-loss side, and he is waiting to play the winner of Cue Ball 70 and Wink at Me. Now this round has until the round 7 round, which this match is in, has until tomorrow to be completed. Now, these guys are cutting it fine, so there's still no schedule up there for their match, so they're leaving it a bit fine. We go further down, we can see that Mo for the Pat, if you remember, he beat Bill, a really heavy beating, 11 racks to 2. And if we keep going further down, oh shit, there we go again, hang on. If we keep going further down, we can see that Albinario and Larry are there on the one-loss side. So the winner of this match is going to be playing Mo for the Pat. Now, it could be an all United States tie, or it could be another Swedish United States tie, going by the result of this match. So if we move over to the winner's side, there's not a lot been happening there. If we can get this to scroll across without... Oh, here we go again. Right, let's move down that way. Right, we can see that Bedhead is through to round 5 on the winner's side. We move up, and Z Karaoke, who put Magician to the one-loss side, is up there as well. So that is a tie that has to be played by January the 2nd, 2018. So they've got a couple of days to get that arranged. And Z Karaoke is going to be really up against it in that match. Race to 16 in the winner's side, remember. We've still got about 2 minutes to go. If we go up to the top of the bracket, we can see that Yamaguchi Taru is sitting there waiting, and he's in round 6. So therefore, the outcome of the Z Karaoke Bedhead match will be, that's who the winner will play, Yamaguchi Taru. So a few big matches still to go, and big contenders for this tournament, and 2 of them are about to play in about, well, just about 2 minutes by the time the room goes up. I mean, again, I said this before, this match could go either way. If Larry's on his game, he'll give Albinario a very good run for his money. This will be Albinario's, well, to be honest with you, it'll be his toughest opponent on the one-loss side, since he lost to Bill on the winner's side. And Albinario and Larry are both in practicing, so they're raring to go. And Larry and Albi have played them in tournaments dozens and dozens of times over the years, in VP3 as well as in Virtual Pool 4. And we hope to get in there ready for when the room goes up. Larry's sitting there waiting. Albinario's still in practicing. And we are about, I would say, 30 seconds or so from the room going up. We're right on the hour. So any second now. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm just wondering why this is called the, why we're calling it the 2017 Championship, because it finishes in 2018. Right, let's move across and enter the room. So I'm already in there before the two players. Larry's arrived. And Albinario will be getting his alert, his audible alert, letting him know the room is up. Again, just to cover the rules, the one lost side race to 11, as I've already said, and it's also alternate break and no jump cues, and the 9 ball is wild on the break. So we're about to lag off. Larry's on the left, I believe. And with a race to 11, it's very, very easy to, well, to be played out of the match very quickly. 2 or 3 racks could go, and before you know it, you've got a mini crisis in your hands. So Albinario's won the lag. He breaks off, 6 balls going into the top left. And, well, he's got a very thin cut on the one at the bottom of the screen. And the other problem is, and get my little doodle thing to do a straight line, there's the 2 ball up there. So, and the other problem's the traffic that he's got. The 7 ball could be a hindrance. That was always asking a lot. And he'd hooked himself on the 2 anyway, so Larry's got the same problem, although he's got a much easier shot in the 1 ball. He's just got to get the pace and get a bit lucky to find the gap. If he finds the gap here, that's the safety zone. If he finds it here, it's got to be accurate. There's 3 balls there. And he's tried to find the safety zone. Well, he's found the first line, but that's a high cut. So now he's going to have to either get the cue ball into the middle of the table, which would be again the safety shot. That way he's playing it from here, and then he can drop across for the 4. Well, he's overdone it, and he's got away with it, and the 4's now in play really. It's been nudged out. Checking everything's okay with the stream. Stream looks good again. Quite happy with that. Albinario can tuck the 2 ball back that way if he can and send the cue ball down here. Now the risk he takes here is leaving a high cut in the 2, so that's why he's putting the cue ball that side, and that's not a bad effort. Well, Larry's got a problem. We can see a thin edge of this too, but the 8 ball's in the way, that's the problem. Yeah, he couldn't do anything about it, so here's Albinario's chance. Well, across the table twice. He has to hit this with enough pace to get the 3 ball in, so he's got to go off the rail on the left, across the rail on the right and back out. Get plenty of room, and the 5 ball's wide open, so you'd expect him to run out here. Well, Albinario won the lag, so this is his break anyway on this rack. Larry will have his chance to break off in a minute or two. We just got the pace in that 7 ball perfect. He can draw up the table or stun up the table. He's played the stun and the angle perfect again to drop behind the 9. Now, how's that 9 in the rail? So if he leaves himself high, it's a little bit testy because it's right on the rail. He's got to get this close to this 9. If he leaves it high, it's a nasty cut and it can easily come off the rail. And that's probably as good as he could do. This needs a bit of attention, this 9 ball, just to hug it to the rail. And Albinario's off and running. So Larry breaking off in rack 2. Oh dear, well, that's exactly what we didn't want. And the worst thing about that is he's in a very good break and the balls are spread all over the table. And the problem straight away for Albinario is that 6 ball. 6 balls over the pocket. The 8 balls almost in the way to a certain extent, but when he gets the 6, he's got to get that cue ball back up the table to have a shot in this 7. That could be the problem. So it all depends on where he gets on this 6. Ideally, he wants to be playing the 6 maybe from there, because I think he can pot the 7 from that side as well. Because if he went there, there and there, he could play the 7, but he needs to be really accurate. The problem's the 8 ball. It doesn't give him a clean shot into the 6. So this is something we've got to look for. See how he negotiates that problem. And the angle that he has in this, or the angle that he should have in this 5 ball, means he's going to be playing it like that, or like that. He doesn't want to be out here. He can't play it from there. He has to have some sort of angle on this 5. And he's on the first line more or less. So now he's got the choice. If he rolls down to the bottom rail, he can come out behind the 8. If he gets to here, he can go that way. Well, he's went to the rail. So now he has to probably play this with a bit of left-hand English as he looks, if he wants to check the cue ball and get it to go that direction. And that looks perfect. So that was the only one that could have been a potential problem, and he's breezed past that. And a little stun means he's going to avoid hitting the 9. He's played the draw. Now how is he for the angle? Well, he's okay. So Albinario straight away is going to run this rack from Larry's break off and scratch. And it's Albinario's break in rack number 3. So Larry only had the break-off shot in that rack, and that was it. So 2-0 to Albinario. Race to 11. Now, it's now 3-0 as long as he doesn't scratch, because the 9 has gone in as well. And straight away, here we go. Larry has a crisis in his hand. Well, this time he's avoided the scratch. And Albinario, well, unless he wants to be brave enough to try a jump shot, all he's got is really a push out or a kick. He's trying to work out what the best place will be to put this, so he's given Larry a tempter and he's tucked the 2 ball away, and that was good thinking because the 2's now in a very awkward position behind the 7, and if Larry wants to be brave enough to go for this 1, he's going to have to get really lucky to get any sort of shot on this 2. Now there is a gap if Larry can find it that way, and that little kiss off the 6 has done him a big favour, but he's finished pretty straight on a 2, and Larry knows how important, oh sorry, Albie knows how important this is. 3-0 up. I've already made the mistake between the 2 players. I haven't had my dinner yet. I've been waiting on this match starting. Now there's a problem. He's right over the 9 ball, and this has got to be delicate. The cue ball's going to run into that 7. He's going to go really close to the 7, and he might actually hit this quite firm to try and nudge onto the 7 and get lucky. No, he's trying to be careful. Well, he's playing it safe. Now, that's probably the wisest shot, because it was a big risk he was taking to get lucky on that 7, and he's put Larry right behind the 7 ball, and all he can do is kick and hope. And he's oh, apologies there. I had a power failure. Hopefully we're backing up and running well. Larry has somehow won that 4th rack. Goodness knows what happened, but he's won it. And hopefully we've got no more interruptions. Fingers crossed. Well, Larry went for the bank. He's missed the bank. 6 ball is relatively safe behind the 8 ball. But Albinario, well, I don't even know whether he's got enough angle if he gets to the rail for this 5 ball to go over to that 6 and 8 to actually split it. Let's see what he does. Well, he can put a lot of draw, a lot of bottom, but I don't think he can get in. He might have to just leave the bank on this 6 ball. The bank into the same pocket as the 5. Well, he's tried to nudge over, and he's made a good attempt at it. Now, can he cut that in? I think he can. So it's looking very likely that it's going to be 4-1 to Albinario. And something I feel has to happen fairly quickly here for Larry to stop Albinario running away with this. He's hung that 3 over the pocket. That's what let Albinario in again. And this time Larry's potted the 6 in the break. He's on the 1. He's going to have no shot in the 2. Now let's see if Larry's going to go all out for the bank on this 2, or whether he's going to try and get a decent safety in. He could try a really, really accurate positional shot, but that would have been in the short side of the 2 for the 2 into this bottom right. So now he's just looking to tie the 2 ball up. Easy kick for Albinario, no problem with the kick. He just needs to get this full in the face to try and punch the 2 around the table and keep the cue ball somewhere round about where the 4 and the 7 is. Well, that's a beautiful shot. Played it dead weight, and Larry is stuck against the 7. And he's well off the mark with that as well. Now, I've got something going on here. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. Anybody that's watching, just give me a second to get this bloody thing fixed. Right, so hopefully no further interruptions. Right, so Albinario at the table, 4-1 up. A little 4-7 combo, and of course he's gained this chance from that excellent little gentle kick shot that he played. And Larry well away from the kick. And this is Albinario's chance to stretch his lead even further. Well, he's gone way too far. I don't think... I think the angle he has to pot this is going to maybe run into that 8 ball. And that's where it's gone wrong. So we probably just roll up to the 8. Or he's going to try and thin it and tuck up behind the 9. That'll be a good shot. Needs to get it really, really thin. Oh, another 2 or 3 inches running on there, and Larry would have been in deep trouble again. And Larry's got the similar problem. Desperate not to leave a bank on here for Albinario. And Larry looks as if he's going all out for it. The bank's on. He could double the bank either in that top right hand corner as we look, or in the bottom. Well, he's got it. So this to reduce the deficit. And that was an all or nothing shot. That's one thing about Larry. He won't back down from the shot that's required to try and clinch the rack, but many times before we've seen it not working for him. Back to Albinario, breaking off in rack number 7, and the 1 ball and the 4 ball have gone. And he's got a shot in the 2, and the 3 passes a 7. So, again, the level these players are at, they're both over 2,400. You've got to expect them to run out. Nothing less is acceptable for players of this standard. And in all honesty, I can't see where the problem's going to be. But that's the thing about alternate break, you just cannot get into any sort of rhythm. Larry would be desperate to get a break and run, and then a break and run in another rack, but it just won't happen. So it's all down to who's going to make the least mistakes, and at the moment it's Albinario. And that's another one. He's going to have to be thin with this one. Cue ball's going to be running. That's a good enough cut into the middle. Got to have a shot in the 9. Just needs to be careful. If he plays this plain ball, that cue ball's going to run close to the corner. Well, obviously the angle was a lot better than I thought, so he's perfect. So it's 5-2, barring a total disaster in the 9. Oh, the 6 ball has just finally gone in. Well, it's going to have to be a 2-3 combo if Larry gets this one. And he's not looking directly into the pocket with this one. Well, this is a crucial rack now that he's in. He's got to go all the way. No room for error. Oh dear. Well, that was not the best attempt at a combo, and straight away Albinario is going to look to punish Larry for that one. I'll just run this 4 ball in, and he's dropping right behind the 5. He might be a bit straight in this 5. Let's have a look. There's a slight angle, he's okay. Well, this is the one, getting onto this 9. Doesn't want to overdraw this, but it looks as if he's going to run through at the moment. And anywhere up by the middle pocket gives you a decent chance in the 9, rather than overrunning it and going behind the 9 at the top end of the table. That's always a mistake. So it's now 6-2 to Albinario. He's more than halfway home. And another mistake by Larry there has cost him dearly. And the 3 balls going in. The cue ball thought had been going in as well. But another shot on the one. Now, if he digs into this, he can stun off the left side rail and come out towards the 6 ball. Oh, he's tried to play it gentle and he's controlled it well. Well, Albinario is showing all the reasons why he's a multiple virtual champion in this game and in the previous game anyway, because he seems to be getting his act together. And having said that, commentator's curse, he's ballsed it up and locked himself behind the 8. And how's Albinario's luck going to be? Because this isn't an easy ball to kick. He's going to have to spin this with a lot of left English to get around the 8 and make the angle off the rail to get near that 5. Well, he'll take that any day. And Larry needs to just tuck that 5 ball along the rail a little bit and get the cue ball back over behind the 9. And use the 6 ball as a blocker as well. He needs to get cover. Is he going the other way, bringing the cue ball down the bottom? Well, he's left an edge showing, so the danger for Albinario here, obviously, as he's pushing the 5 ball towards that right hand corner pocket at the top of the screen. So he's hit it as thick as he can. Let's have a look at that. And once again, it's Larry's choice. Maybe try and get that 5 closer to the top rail and the cue ball back down to where the 8 and 7 is again. Well, this time he's overdone it. Well, he let that cue ball run not in the direction I would have thought he would have played it, but Albinario can possibly try and kick right in behind that 5. I don't know whether it's off the rail far enough. I don't think it is. So he's going the other way. Oh, that's a good bit of running there. He's got lucky. And now Larry's going to have to ride his luck with this shot as well. Easy enough to kick the 5. And he's played that well. He's actually hit that exactly where he wanted to hit it, just to catch the edge of the 5. But he could find himself in dire straits here in a second, because Albinario will just roll up to that 5, hit it half ball, and the cue ball goes that way. And that is a desperate situation now for Larry. Now what does he do? If he doesn't get the kick, it's an easy out for Albinario, pretty certain. And now is he trying to tie the balls up? If he does that, he's probably going to leave a combo. So, well, he's waiting for the kick. Albinario can just, well, he can play the combo, or he can just play the little cut along the rail from the right hand side, but he's going for the combo. And, well, he's dead straight. So it's going to be a distance shot on the 6. Now Same again as previously. When he pots the 8, anywhere up to that left middle pocket will do. Just beyond it would be perfect. Well, he's went the other way. Played it with inside English to push it to the wider part of the table. So this for 7-2. And it's now a desperate situation for Larry. He's running out of racks. Albinario's only 4 away. And I still maintain that this, particularly the loser's side, the one-loss side, is far too short a run for this game. It just doesn't. Especially the other thing is alternate break. The alternate break is not helping the situation either. So everything is actually against Larry getting back into this. And the only way that's going to happen is if he takes the chances and doesn't mess up. But he's got a toughie here. This 4-ball at distance. And the only thing you can do is just concentrate on what's in front of you and go on with it. And just hope you get a bit of luck. Well, he's gone dead straight in the 6. Now, if he gets too cute with this 7-ball and rolls it gentle, he could punch it off the rail. He needs to be careful with this. And he's done that, and it's just crept into the pocket. That was always a danger with that 7-ball there. But it's 1 back for Larry. But the break goes back to Albinario. And he's leading by 7 racks to 3. Well, this time, Larry's going to have his chance. A scratch in the break from Albinario. Ball in hand on the 1 ball, the 2 balls next to the 9. And Larry, well, what does he do? Does he go for this 1-9 combo? Or does he look to run out? Well, he's had a look at it. He's looking to make sure the 3 goes. And now he has to get this run out. Once again, I'm looking for where the problems are going to be. The problems, if he gets too cute with this 3-ball, he needs to leave the gap between the 8 and the 9 and play it safe. And he doesn't want to overhit the 4 either, because if he rolls too far to the left, that 7-ball can be a hindrance. And he's made sure of that. Same again. It's going to be the long gap on this 6, but he doesn't want to go straight. He wants to finish sort of there, so he can come off the rail and go over for the 7. Or if he finishes there, at least he's got an angle off that rail. Now he's almost gone. I think he's gone straight. Let's have a look. No, he's got a slight angle. He's playing this with a bit of right hand side. He doesn't want to get too much. He could run into the 7. No, he's well away from it. Now, again, it depends how Braveyard you go for this cue ball off the end rail, side rail for the 8 in the middle, or do you leave the 8 long? Leaving it long, things can go wrong. And that's why he's gone up the table to take it in the middle. Well, plenty of room to get on the 9. If he's going to use rails here, he can go that way, but the danger is running into the 9. He needs to do something to avoid that. He could just stun it in and come off the rail and up. Well, I'll say this. That's not the shot I would have played. And that is very tricky. He's played it right to the far jaw. It's an unorthodox way to run out on that 9, but he's done it. So the scratch from Albinario in that rack. And Larry took ball in hand and managed to run out. But on his break, nothing's doing. And the 2's hanging over the bottom corner. Albinario's got a thin cut in the 1. But I think he's got to get lucky here to get on the 2, because the 8 ball's in the way. And the 8 ball might be Larry's saviour here. Well, it won't be, because there's still plenty of room to get to the 2. Now, what about the 3? Well, the 3 goes past the 4, but from this angle it goes past the 4. From anywhere else on the table with the cue ball, it is not an easy pot. And that 2 ball's deep in the pocket. And he's trying to use the angles to get around. Well, that's actually not bad, but it's into a blind pocket. You just got to pick your spot in the 3 ball and hit it. But it goes in clean. Well, just a roll in the 7 ball after this 6. Well, he's gone the other way. And this is making life slightly more difficult. The simple one would have been to roll the 7 up the table to that top left. Well, he doesn't want to be over eager with this either, because the cue ball, if it's going over to the right, it's well away from the corner pocket. That was the only danger. So it's an easy 9 for 8-4. Well, Albinario was 12-6 up in his first match in round 2 in this tournament against Bill. 12-6 up in a race to 16, and somehow Albinario managed to lose 16-15. And we're now at a point here where something like that needs to happen for Larry. So the 2 balls gone. Now, does that 1 go in off the jaw? No, it doesn't, obviously. He decided to play the not too easy combo. But these are the type of chances that in that match against Bill, when Bill was getting in, he was taking every chance he got. He never missed until the last couple of racks where it got a bit dicey between the 2 players. But this is the sort of thing that Larry just simply has to get. I mean, there's just no other option, and he's already got himself in trouble. That kiss in the 6 and the 9 in that position, total block on the 3, and it's just a kick and hope again. Well, that's Larry's shot clock gone. He's now into his 15-second extension. And that's just spinning out. So a fairly straightforward and a gentle 3 onto this 8 will leave the cue ball there or thereabouts. Now Albinario has to hit this 3 full on the face onto the 8 to actually keep the 3 there. It's in danger of running over to that side rail by the 6. And that's why he's playing it. The billiard. Oh, and the billiard's gone wrong. I would have thought the little gentle 3 onto the 8 would have allowed him to hold the cue ball there and hold the 3 ball there. It needed to be an accurate shot, but he's played the billiard and now he's scratched. So here's Larry's chance. And the worst thing about this is that 4 ball's on the rail, so he needs to leave the cue ball out here, back to more or less where it is right now. He needs to get it off that rail and leave that angle. And the 4 ball, well, that's off the rail by a couple of millimetres. So there's a bit of travelling to be done here with the cue ball though. 5 up to the 6, 6 back down to the 7, and from the 7 back up to the 9. And look where the 9 is. This is the one I keep talking about. When the 9 is sort of there in the middle of the table at the top end, the danger is always going to that end. This is why this is where you want to be when you're trying to get in the 9. Leave yourself up by the middle pockets and at least gives you a good shot in the 9. So let's see what Larry does. He's gone just a bit straight in this 7. So he can roll right around the corner. He can go right forward here and go over to that right hand side. He just doesn't want to scratch in the middle pocket. Or is he going to try and stun up the table? No, he's gone around the corner. He needs to keep going. And that should be okay. Good evening. So Larry's got another one back. No sign of a major turnaround in this match yet. We're not there yet. But it's 8-5 to Albinario and it's Larry's break. And this time the 4 ball's gone in. Now how's his luck in the 1? No such luck. Now what does he do here? Is Larry going to go all out for the bank, or is he going to try and keep things tight? He could reverse bank this, but he'd probably play that in a challenge room, but using the 6 and the 7 as cover. Once again, it's not a difficult kick, it's just about how Albinario's luck is once he makes contact with this 1 ball. Well, he's not got lucky. And this isn't simple for Larry either. If you look at the 1, he's got the angle, the cue ball's going to run between. It's going to run that way. If he runs that way, he's got a very narrow window to get on the 2. Has he got there? I think he's just on it. He's just on it. Could squeeze that in, no problem. Very tight window to get that cue ball into there. Now here we go. He can get really unlucky here if he gets this wrong. He could end up behind the 6 and 7. So he's got to take evasive action on this 3 ball. He doesn't want to go off the rail and go across the left. See, he's gone across, but he's leaving it long. And the other problem is he's dead straight, so he's making it difficult for himself, so he can only go forward to leave a nasty cut on this 6. There's nothing else he can do. He doesn't want to block himself off with the 9. So this is not as cut and dried and simple as it might look. That needs to get there. Oh dear, Larry. Oh, disaster. And that all because of the danger at 6 and 7. That's what was in his mind. And the worst thing could happen is he's left dead straight and trying to be cute and delicate. And that is definitely a chance blown there by Larry. A straight 5 ball. He's rolled it to the jaw. He's hung it up. And Albinario, well, he's just going to roll it in gentle or a little punch. But either way, the cue ball's going that way and it'll be a shot in the 8. Shouldn't be any mistakes here. And that's perfect. Can do a little stun off the 8, or you can go to the left rail with a little bit of spin, but either way the cue ball up in the middle pockets here. And he's looking down the barrel in this 9 ball. And it's going to be 9-5. Now that, I feel, is a crucial mistake by Larry. He's made a couple, and it's cost him. But just when he was showing a hint of maybe reducing the deficit, it's been blown out the water, and the 6 ball's gone in. Well, Albinario, once again, he could go all out and flash at this 1 ball and cut it down the rail. He'd be unlucky not to have a shot in the 2, and he looks as if he's lining it up. Or is he? No, he's looking to get cover. Now this is the type of shot that Larry... See, I would... In a desperate situation, I suppose I would go for this one. It depends how desperate Larry is, because over the years he's done this and it will backfire. If he's going for it, good luck to him, because the cue ball is going over towards that 5 in the corner pocket, unless he gets a lot of dig into this cue ball. Well, at least he can see the 2, but can he get it thin enough to avoid scratching? I don't think he can. If he's trying to hit it in the left-hand side, he's going to scratch. He's looking to see enough of this to try and bank it, I think. And even that's not good. Has he finally got lucky? Yes, he has. So Albinario is just 2 racks away. And this 2 ball, I don't know what he's doing here. Is he trying to hide behind the 4? Oh, it's going to creep out. It's crept out. The only thing that can scupper Albinario here is the traffic he has to avoid. So he played it with an awful lot inside. Far too much. But he can try and tuck the cue ball over by the 5. Needs a delicate touch to do that, though. Well, now, did he go for the bank, or did he just try and get that cue ball in behind the 5? We'll never know. But he's left the 3 hanging, and it's Another chance for Larry. And it all hinges about getting on this 4. If he can get on the 4, he's running out. And it's in the worst possible place. Well, the 4 goes, but it's another blind pocket shot. This is not easy. And oh dear, well, this is now a kicked bank on the 5. Now, does he play it a pocket weight kick or does he blast it? Well, he'll take that. The double kiss has done him a favour. So a little bit of running there for Larry. He's had a couple of little breaks, but hooking himself in the 5, he was odds on to run out, and it just isn't falling into place for Larry. Albinario is a good, well, he's pretty damn good at most games in virtual pool, and he's pretty good at kicking, but this time he's off the mark, so it's a second chance for Larry. And this 5, I think it's on the rail, more or less. No, it's off the rail. So he's just looking to where the cue ball's to go when he pots the 5. And I would suggest anywhere there is fine. There would be ideal, because then he can just come across for the 8 and get the cue ball off the rail and back out for the 9. It's a simple run out. So he's played the little stunt. He's got the angle, and it just needs to be a gentle enough pot unless he goes across 2 rails. So he can go off the right rail and the left rail, but if he just plays it pocket weight, he's coming out into the middle of the table. Well, this is similar to the 5 ball, isn't it? This time he won't be rolling it in dead weight. Little punch in. Well, Larry's back to trailing by 3, and it's his break, and he needs something here. He needs a little bit of momentum one way or another, and it ain't going to happen. Dry break. Albinario comes to the table with a dead set bank on the 1. Now, this will maybe give you a bearing on how confident Albinario's going to be to try and take the match out. He's went for the bank, a sort of half-hearted bank, and how's that for luck? Larry's stuck. Can he get to the kick point on that rail to get the 1? Yes, I think he can. And he'll take that one. Now, is that going to run? Has it run far enough? No, it hasn't. Now, what's Larry doing here? Yeah, he's going to play the cut. Now, the odds on Larry getting in and running out here are fairly slim, because the 3 ball stuck behind the 7, and he's done the worst possible thing. He's scratched. And Albinario looking at the 3. 3 only pots really into one pocket. If you can get here on the 3, anywhere here gives you a shot up the rail. He's looking at all options here. If he gets on the 2 where he had the cue ball there, then it's a straight draw. Now the chances are he's going to draw down to this 6 ball, the angle he's got in the 2. And he just needs to glance the 6 ball. Well, he's drawn towards the 5. Now, well, this is going for the jugular here if he went for the 3, but he's decided on the safety. And he's got a full ball snooker. And just to kick again for Larry. Now, if Larry gets this half ball, he's got a chance of scratching. So he avoided the scratch in the middle. But Albinario has got a shot in the 3. Now the question is he going to roll it in gentle and leave a little gentle cut in the 4 to hold for the 5? It looks like it. Yeah, he can comfortably pot this 4 and hold for the 5. Seven goes into the middle pocket past the 9 if he wants to leave that. Oh, he's going up the table. Still plenty of room to get on the 7. Oh dear. Oh well, he's hung it up and Larry can only kick from the short rail at the top end. I don't think he can get to the... Can he get to the angle off that rail to make the touch in the 7? I don't think he can. He's going to have to spin this a fair bit, and if he gets it at the wrong point, he's just going to spin right away from the 7. I'd be banking this. Oh, he's played it well, and he's spinning out behind the 8. Is he? Oh, no. Well, this is nasty. If he hadn't glanced at 8, he'd have been perfect. And he's got to work the cue ball again, because he has to avoid the scratch in the right-hand corner. And that will do. So Albinario has made the mistake this time. Got lucky though, but Larry managed to play an excellent little sort of soft swerve spin off the rail to kick the 7 in. And it's back to 9-7 and Albinario breaking off. And a ball has gone in, and the 1 ball is on, and the 4 ball has gone down. And this might be exactly the point I was making. You can work as hard as you can to try and get back in the match, and you've just won a rack, and the break has gone back to your opponent. He's potted a ball in the break, and he's got a shot in the 1 ball, and he's looking like running out. And you just can't do a thing about it. Alternate break gives you no flow in the game at all. To break and run a couple of racks, it just doesn't happen. It's taken away from you. Well, he's left that way, way short. He's going to have to go up and down the table. Oh, well. This is what happens when you just get out of line. He's blocked himself off. Almost kicked a 6 in. And it's gone safe. Now this is a dilemma Larry's got. He can reverse bank this, or he can bank it into the middle and maybe double bank it, or he can try and just play safe, clip it and come in behind the 8. But Larry looks as if he's made his mind up here, and this is all or nothing. And in goes the 6. And Albinario says he just can't finish matches. Well, we'll soon find out. And Larry sitting pretty on the 8 ball. And a roll in the 9. Nothing heroic needs to be done. And of course now, this is a rack against the head, against the break. The break goes back to Larry in the next rack. I'm pretty certain it does. So Larry is trailing by 9 racks to 8 in the race to 11, and it's Larry breaking in rack number 18. And what he wouldn't give for a ball and a break and a shot. Oh, the 9. The 9's hanging. Now, what the hell happens here? Now, Albinario's blocked out in the 1. He's going to push out. He's surely got to sink that 9. And the problem for Albinario here is that if he plays the push out, he's going to sink the 9. He's going to leave Larry an open shot in the 1. He doesn't know what to do. That's exactly the confusion he's got here. So he's played, he's scratched. So the 9's gone in. I think he panicked with the clock, but I think he had the same bit of confusion there as to whether he should actually pot the 9 or not, or try and kick the 1. He wasn't 100% sure. So in a way, he's now called Larry's bluff. Larry's 9-8 behind. He's got ball in hand. And he's now said to Larry, well, go ahead. If you want to tie the match up, the balls are there for you to do it. The question is can you do it? And Larry will take his time. He wants to get this 100% accurate. He's got the right angle in the 3. He's got plenty of room to get in the 4 between that 6 and 9. A little stunt. And as long as he's not dead straight in the 4, he's fine. Now, again, the dilemma is, does he play this with a little bit inside just to come off the rail and check out and leave the long 4? Because the 6 is there. He can't not be on the 6. So he doesn't want to go over ambitious. So he's just going to leave the 5 long. And he's got a nice little angle in the 5. Well, a bit more angle than I thought there. That's not quite as comfortable as it looks. And he's just managed to squeeze past the 9. So here's the crucial one, getting on the 7. Remember, this has all come from that, well, sort of attempted push out by Albinario to get the 9 ball respotted, but scratched with it. And ideally he wants to finish dead straight on this 8. That would be perfect. Just kill the cue ball right there and just same again and leave the 9 on. And we've got a tied ball game at 9-all. Break goes back to Albinario. Well, I don't know about anybody watching, but I'm going to have to calm my nerves here. I'm probably more nervous than the 2 players. And I'm watching it. So, now this is maybe where the luck might change. Albinario breaking off. Oh, well, the luck has changed. A scratch in the break. And again, a bit like the last rack, Larry's got ball in hand. All the balls on the table. And he's plotting his route out here. Can Larry hold his nerve here? He needs to get over the thinking period here because he needs to watch his shot clock. He might need to do a bit more thinking, so he's not used his extension. And this is the one that's a little bit fiddly here on this 3-ball. Out into the table. This is not a comfortable shot to get from the 3 to the 4 where that 3-ball's sitting. Oh dear, what's he left himself here? I think he can just squeeze past the 8-ball. I think he's got room to get past the 8 with the cue ball. And Tony Sam's going to have to sit there waiting because I'm not doing anything while this is going on. He's trying to pinch a very slight angle here, and that's dangerous because he rolls right forward. Well, he's done it and he's got away with it. That's an excellent shot. That's why he was taking his time. And what's Tony wanting? How do I get the taskbar to go small? Well, the problem with that is he's on, what do you call it? He's in desktop mode, that's the problem. And then he needs to right click in his taskbar and unlock the taskbar. The taskbar will always stay above your game. So, forgetting all of that, back to business here. Larry, with ball in hand, and he's got a toughie in the 5. Needs to come across off the side rail and back out. Played it perfect. Maybe too perfect. He's going a bit straight. Now, this is where you just play a comfortable little shot with a bit of top and right. The cue ball's going to come out. He's drawn it back. I don't like it, but he's managed to control it. I always like to go forward rather than trying to play a draw, but that's why Larry's playing in the tournament and I'm not. A little roll through. But I think he's got the wrong angle here. He needs to go just to top rail. Now, it's got to be a draw for the 9 in the same pocket, surely. So Larry, I'm sure he was 6-2 down. This for 10-9. And I'm sure Larry's breaking. So Larry's breaking for the match. Oh, the 3 balls going in. He's going to have no shot in the 1. He's actually blocked out in the 1. Now what does he do? Well, I don't think there's a 1-2 combo on because the 2's a wee bit off that rail up at the corner pocket. And he certainly doesn't want to leave Albinario any sniff of a billiard onto that 2 off the 1. Well, what does Albi do? Does he push it back to Larry? I think he might do it. Well, he's made up his mind. He's going to push it back. I thought that. He didn't fancy it. Well, Larry's got an easy enough safety shot. If he just gets the pace right, he can come off the edge, push the... Oh dear, that's a disaster. He hit that far too thick. I don't know what he tried. But that's a sellout, that shot. So Albinario. And the 4 ball goes past the 7, so this is his chance to run out to go to a final rack decider. And that, just remember that safety shot there by Larry, because that could cost him dearly. The shot he had enough edge of the 1 to hit the 1, bank it back to the end rail and spin the cue ball down here. Why he hit it so thick and just basically banked it onto the 9 and didn't get any distance in the cue ball at all. Now what's happened here? What has happened here for Albinario? He's locked himself out in the 4. He can't get to the 4. So here we go with the jump. No jump cue, remember. Oh, and he's comboed the 7, but he's scratched after it. So here's Larry's chance for the match. Ball in hand. Well, Larry's going to, he needs to be careful because his extension has gone. Oh. Well, this could be nervy because he's got to punch this 5 in, and you know what these pockets are like. If you go to a jaw, it's going to hang up because he's got to get back for that 6. Oh dear. And Larry's shown the nerves. And he's got away with it. I think he's got away with it. But that was a nervy shot in that 5 ball. Got himself perfect in the 6, but he was well off the mark. Now this time, same as that shot he had in the 1 ball, he needs to just get that thin, use the spin, get the cue ball up the table and try and tuck the 5 behind the 6. Where's the problem in doing that? Well, at least it's safe at that distance. The only problem here is Albinario can tuck behind the 6. And now Larry's in dire trouble. A big kick, big boom, hit and hope. Get the amp on and slam it. Where's the 9 going? And more importantly, look at where the cue ball's going. Well, that's it. You hit and hope. And you need that little bit of running. And now Albinario's in dire straits. Same for Albinario. Pick your angle to make the kick and slam it. That's all you can do. You're not going to hope to get lucky hitting it medium pace. Just hit it a good thump and get the prayer book out. Oh, what a shot. nearly played the combo off the 9. Well, here we go again. Perfect angle to spin off the end rail, side rail, and I come across the 8 and 9. And that needs to bounce. It needs to bounce. Well, you would think, get the cue ball out into the middle of the table somewhere and he's got a shot in the 8. And, well, that's gone to that little uncomfortable angle. It is an uncomfortable angle, this 8 ball. And remember, he's got to think about leaving a shot in the 9, and this is not easy. And he's running out of time. He's running out of time. Larry, you have to hit the ball. And in goes the 8, and he's going to need another good one. Well, what do you do here? To me, the bank is the dead set. He's got to go for the bank, surely. Give himself 2 chances. Or is he going for the pot? He's going for the pot. So this for the match. And in it goes. Is it? Oh, Jesus Christ. He's hung the bloody 9. He should have banked it. He should have banked it. Well, we're going to the final rack. We're going all the way. 10 racks all. And good luck to both players, because, Jesus, I don't know who's going to win this now. Larry's had 2 good chances to kill this match, and he just cannot put it away. And Albinario breaking off in the decider. And Larry can cut the 1. He can cut the 1. He's probably going to hit that 6, maybe, if he hits this thin enough. Can he avoid the 6? The cutting angle, well, he couldn't avoid the 6. And what's more, he's missed the 1. Now, let's see if Albinario can hold himself together. But this is the thing that Albinario, when it gets down to the wire, he usually does have the nerve to hold himself together. He's done it often enough. The only problem ball's the 6. 8 balls blocking it to this bottom corner. And of course he's not there yet. He's got to get there. How many's in the room? 6 in the room. Well, I don't think Larry's going to come any closer to winning this match than what he has done in those last couple of racks. But that shot in the 9, I would not have had enough nerve to play that at pocket weight to pot the 9. I would have went for the bank. A medium pace bank, and you're almost odds on to get the bank either in one of those 2 pockets. I don't know why he didn't go for it. Well, here's a bit of work to get done here, to get on the 5. This can go wrong, because if he was to run forward, that 9 ball's in the way. The shot you would normally play would be pot the 4 and run that way and come around for the 5, but that 9 is very close. And Albinario, well, how the hell is he going to get on this 6? He's going to leave a 6-8 combo. This is a nervy shot by Albinario, and what's more, he's nowhere near the safety. And Larry, well, he can pot the 5. He's just got to leave the 6, the 6-8 combo, surely. Unless he tries something spectacular. He's got to leave the combo. Oh well. There's no really much you can say about that. Stunned the cue ball straight into the pocket. And that's 3 straight chances there Larry's had in those last 3 racks to put this match away, and he can't get there. What's happening with the cue ball? Oh, he's okay, and he's got the angle. And this time Albinario's got up past the middle pocket. So Albinario, one way or another, this 9 ball for the match to win it by 11 racks to 10. And it's all over. Well, Larry, whatever you do, don't watch the video and see the chances you had. Let's have a final look at the bracket if we can get there. Hang on a minute. Well, you guys can make up your own mind, but I've seen Larry having chances over the years in big tournaments, and he just doesn't seem to get himself over the line. Right. So that should have updated. Now Larry's in the money anyway, whatever happens. He's guaranteed to get some sort of payout. So Albinario is now through to play Mofo the Pat, who is actually, you know, his form is pretty good. Didn't show any signs of nerves in his last match against Bill, and I don't think he'll have any fear of Albinario either. So, you know, Albie made one or two mistakes, but in all honesty, Larry should have been home and dry long before then. So that's how the one-loss side's taking shape. We've seen that there's nothing scheduled on the winner's side. We know that Cue Ball 70 has to get his match played, but that's still not on the schedule either. He's still to play Wink at Me, and they've got until the 29th, which is tomorrow, at 2 PM in the afternoon. That's UK time, so they have not got much time. And I don't know whether they've actually sent any emails to one another, but that's looking touch and go for that match. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Larry probably didn't. But Albinario marches on, and he's still in with a chance at winning this tournament. He's still going to have a lot of tough matches still to come. And with that, folks, we will see you again soon sometime.